I am from the 15 batch of Indian Defence State Service. I am presently CEO Cantonment Board Varanasi. This is my fifth posting. I have served in Delhi, Darjeeling, Siliguri, Pachmadi, and Shahjahanpur before this. This is my fifth posting. I was posted here in the month of September, so it's 3 months in Varanasi. I hail from Bihar, Patna. I've done most of my schooling from Birla School, Pilani. It's a boarding school in Rajasthan. And thereafter, I did my graduation from IIT Dhanbad in IIT in BTech Environmental Engineering. So that's all from my side.
Okay, so as you know, you are the CEO of Cantonment area right now. So, what are the key roles and responsibilities of a CEO of Cantonment?
Yeah. So CEO of Cantonment can be thought of in two ways. First is the Cantonment belongs to the Government of India. So there are two governments: Government of State, Government of UP for this instance, and Government of India. So the entire Cantonment belongs to the Government of India, vis-a-vis the Nagar Nigam, which belongs to the Government of UP. That is one. So everything that a Nagar Nigam oblique the SDM, the collector does in the civil area, in the municipal area, the CEO does in the Cantonment area. So be it roads, electricity, water supply, sanitation, taxation, hospital, schools. That entire thing is the responsibility of the Cantonment Board. As CEO of the Can Board, I am responsible for that. So the area is limited. So Cantonment, I'd like to clarify here, Cantonment is not just the army. There's an army establishment in the Cantonment, but there are normal citizens also living in the Cantonment. So it's not only for the army. There are normal people who also live in the Cantonment area. So both of them we cater to for them in terms of infra, schools, hospitals, parks. We maintain public parks, sanitation, water supply, electricity, everything, roads and all. Taxation, we levy house taxes also. So the entire thing is taken care by the Cantonment Board. As a CEO, I am responsible for that.
So, what does a typical day in your role look like? So, I want to know your routine and daily things like as there's lots of work and pressure on your shoulders.
So 9:30 to 1 is mostly the visiting hours. So a lot of people coming with all the grievances and all. 1 till 1. 1:30 we break for lunch. We come back around 2:30 or 3. Then 3 to 7 or 8 is the actual working hours, in which actually the files get cleared. Morning is more like meeting people, greeting, and coming with your own set of issues, problems, and grievances. So the actual works it depends upon all the officers. For me, it happens from 3 to 8 in the evening. That is when the actual works happen, the planning and the implementation part happens. So that is it.
So, as you also know, you are an IDES officer. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in Indian Defence State Services?
Yeah. So ultimately, the goal, the one thing that motivated me is the cause for social service. So I've also served in a private company. When I passed out from my college IIT, I went to Jindal Steel Private Limited. It's a steel plant in Chhattisgarh. I have served there for around 1 year. So I just wanted to have a taste of how a corporate job looks like. So I went there, and I thought I should try for civil services.
So, it was not from childhood.
A bit of it, but not exactly. I was not very sure. Otherwise, I would have not taken up the job only. I took up the job, gained a sort of exposure, like how it looks like. Because I thought I would never be able to get an exposure if I'm not doing it in the initial stage. Once I get into the services, I can never imagine or never experience how a corporate job looks like. So I basically went with that objective. I'll just have a taste of corporate job, and the taste was not very good. So so that's why I thought of shifting towards here. Apart from the social cause, it's also the diversity that we get. So the corporate job, you'll be living in good places, Delhi, Gurgaon. The first is definitely you get to work for the people. So many things you can do with the people for the people. So it gives you an immense inner satisfaction, right? The second is the diversity of the job. So before this, I was in the headquarters in South Block, Delhi. So the work profile was completely different than what I'm doing here. It was more of a policy role. I was into AI. I was doing some drone mapping for the defense services across the country. Before that, I was in Siliguri, completely different job in Sikkim. So the diversity is something also which enchanted me because in any corporate job you choose a stream, be it marketing, data analytics, finance, and then you have to stick to that. You can grow up and everything. There are options of diversity also, but I feel it is a bit restricted than what we get here. The diversity is something I really count sometimes. I equate with the social cause also. So that is one thing which enchanted me.
Sir, I also want to know, like, if you weren't an IDES officer for IDES, so what alternative career path you would have chosen and why? Would you like to share with us?
So when we start preparing for civil services, it's never very sure. So the nobody on earth can say ki, somebody will clear it or somebody won't clear it. So everybody should have and must have a plan B. So I also, like every other people, I also had a plan B. So plan B was so as to say going in the education field. So because you study a lot for the civil services, so you can motivate younger people who are coming from not so financially well-off background to go into the services or prepare for any competitive exam. So that was my plan B, which I had kept in mind while preparing. And plan B, apart from what I have told, it also gives you a sense of I'll say how do you call it? Not satisfaction, a sense of reassurance. Ki bhai theek hai, because it's actually very the right term is not scary. It's very I'd say it's a very lonely path when you prepare for any competitive exam. You'll be preparing for IITs or whatever you aspire to. It's a very competitive atmosphere, and you need to have something to rely back on. So obviously in school days there's no need of plan B, but when you grow, when you clear after graduation, when your friends are already in good jobs, well paid off jobs, most of them are abroad from IITs, so you should have a plan B, because ultimately when you fall back, there should be a plan B. Would be just like a step when you play KBC, there's a question number 5 and 10 are the benchmark. So you don't fall below that benchmark. So you should aspire for question number 15 in the KVC, but you should have a question number 10 or 5 also, so that you don't, when you drop, you don't fall below. So plan B is very important.
So what was the plan B?
I told you, education stream. So teaching, motivating people for the competitive jobs. That was my plan.
Now, I want to ask you, who has been your biggest inspiration in marriage and why?
So to name a specific person is very difficult, but to me the biggest inspiration, and this came very late to me when we were preparing for the civil services. So we used to stay in Delhi. There's a place called Old Rajendra Nagar in Delhi, ORN. तो वहाँ पे when you get off from the metro to reach to your place where we were staying, you will take a rickshaw. So we used to chat with the rickshaw wala. So most of them were from Bihar or Eastern UP. So while chatting with them, they would say कि दिन का they will earn something around 200 rupees. पूरे month का it will be 6,000 rupees without any job security, without any assured salary, without anything, any assurance. So in my previous question, I answered question number 5 or question number 10. So for them, there is no question number 5 or 10. So it's either 15 or 0. And 15, for them, 15 is just question number 1 or 0. So their entire life revolves between 1 and 0. And they are very happy. So I think this was my relation then also. It takes guts to live on those conditions. Like we all, you will be getting into so many jobs. You look for stability in job. You look for pension in job. You look for some share of the company in the job, some good place of residence, some good people to take care of you. Just imagine those guys who are living on day-to-day basis, serving their family also. They're having kids also. So it is actually an inspiration for all of us, that a person who has left his hometown, come to Delhi, driving a rickshaw, earning 200 rupees per day, without any security. Sometimes the police wala takes him up and kuch ho jata hai, without any ghar, without, and it's just imagine the amount of vulnerability that he's dealing with. It's immense. So hum log, we are all privileged. I think we should all thank God that we are all privileged, that we are in a better position. And whenever we get time or get an opportunity, we should definitely step ahead to serve them. I've just given a small example. ऐसे बहुत सारे अलग अलग स्ट्रीम में लोग होंगे. It's our duty as a citizen, as a human Homo sapien, to help them, to give them a sort of reassurance wherever, in which way you can. Yeah, I'll say he or oblique unknown person was my motivation. Yeah.
And so, what other advice you would give to the students who wish to pursue a career in civil services?
So I'm assuming everybody, most of you would be from 10th or 11th class or 8th or 9th. So career in civil services, if you have decided, there's one guru mantra which somebody told me, a teacher, that is essential, be it whatever subject you choose in the civil services, which background you're having, you're a Hindi medium or English medium guy, doesn't matter. That is reading. You read anything you like. If you want to read fiction, read fiction, non-fiction. You want to read comics, read comics. Some of you are interested in sports, read about sports articles. Just read, because it requires so much of reading in the civil services. No? You should be thorough with reading. You should never hesitate to read. That is the thing. So, because you have to read a lot in one day of preparation. So, one day will start like reading 2 papers, newspapers, 1 magazine, then the subject matter, then the current affairs part, then scrolling through the internet. So, reading is one habit that people till the class 12th should develop. And once you miss the bus, it takes a lot of efforts to develop a habit of reading later on. So everyone, whatever you like, there should be no compulsion ki I'll read about India, some fiction. It should be anything what you like to read. Read at least 10 pages per day whenever you get time, or if you are a tech savvy guy, read on your tab or phone, but read. Once you read, you just imagine, I'll say 30% of the job is done, because you are very familiar with reading. You can flip through the pages and you won't be scared of from the volume of books ki itna padna hai. So reading habit is very important, number 1. Number 2, I would say a bit of inclination towards current affairs. Current affairs, I would say anybody is preparing for civil services, current, you would be hearing stories ki 4 mahine mein nikal gaya, 1 saal mein nikal gaya, matlab you will be hearing stories. In fact, I was मेरा भी first attempt में I got cleared. So, but वो ना that story is half story कि 1 साल में निकल गया. The current affairs will always take you at least 2 to 3 years of current affairs to start with. So nobody on earth would say कि मैं zero था current affairs में और मैं 8 महीने में current affairs thorough हो गया. It is absolutely impossible as to my understanding. So it will take 3 years of current affairs. So you start early. Current affairs, I don't mean to say that you go through the paper A to Z, but at least an inclination ki what is happening in the country, in Varanasi, in UP, in the world, something about economics. Economics is a bit technical, but something about economics. And nowadays it's not necessary to order a newspaper. Just flip through through your phone. There are so many good apps. Indian Express has a good app. So that inclination towards current affairs is very important. And that many times we see that the person is thorough about everything, but that current affairs part is lagging because he made a late start into the current affairs. He started current affairs only when he decided that I'll prepare for civil services as an age of 22. So as a young student, you should be inclined toward current affairs. Sometimes papers, sometimes you all would be having some smartphone, or the phones would be at your homes. Flip through the papers. That would make you a good citizen also, even if you don't want to prepare for civil services. Paper is, even today also I read 2-3 papers every day in the morning. So that has now become a habit. So yeah, so one was reading and the second was current affairs. Yeah.
So could you share any challenges? So I want to know, could you share any challenges you faced during your preparation and early career and how do you overcome them?
So the journey of preparation is actually very, I told you, very lonely and very arduous, very tiring. So the main challenge was not about the study, and I'm sure for all of you, it will be more of perseverance. So you'll feel like giving up today. You'll feel like giving up एक हफ्ते बाद, maybe एक महीने बाद कि ठीक है अभी देखते हैं कुछ और. So that perseverance is very important. I feel lucky कि मेरा first attempt में हो गया, but I know people who have done it for 5 times. So fifth attempt means you have put in 6 years of your life in this examination per se. So just imagine the amount of perseverance that they would have got. And mind you, 6 साल when I say, the time is not static. So time moves on. The other colleague of you or the other batchmate of you has already went to a vacation. He's already married. He's already there in Paris enjoying. He's already getting a good package. So that perseverance in times of adversity, right? So I would say it's a time of adversity that you are preparing vis-a-vis your colleague, your brother, your sister, your cousin. So that perseverance is very important. So I think in any preparation, it's the perseverance. And like I said on this stage also, perseverance you will never get it from education. Education is a good thing. You'll read stories about good people. That is one way. But you need to experience this. You need to experience this through some sports, some music, cultural festival, some trekking, some outdoor sports. So that is what will keep you, will put you there, will keep you motivated to stay put, right? Otherwise, without perseverance, it's very difficult.
So I'll not take you much time and
Yeah.
I want to ask a personal question.
Yeah.
How do you unwind or spend your free time outside of work, like your leisure activities and things?
Yeah. So actually, this depends. So I am in Varanasi since last three months. I joined in August last week. So यहाँ तो I like to roam around. I have been to Ghat walks. So we start from Namo Ghat, we walk till the Assi Ghat. So Varanasi has a lot to offer. So यहाँ पे तो as of now, I spend my leisure time exploring Varanasi. I have been to Gadaulia around 20-30 times. So it depends. यहाँ पे it's roaming around. When I was in Delhi, I used to cycle a lot. I was fond of cycling. So to me, it keeps on changing. I'm sure काफ़ी लोगों के लिए it would be static. For as far as I'm concerned, it keeps on changing. Sometimes depending upon the mood, depending upon the city I'm in. So yeah.
Thank you, sir. So much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Dean Academics and Quality Assurance of Dalim Sunbeam Group. First of all, thank you very much for coming over here, and I have always felt that people who have achieved positions are basically beautiful in mind and humble at heart, and you are not an exception for this. I have two questions. Question number one, you are an alumni of Birla Public School Pilani, a school which I visited 5 years because I was with Tashi Namgyal Gangtok, where I used to take my IPC table tennis teams. So 2000 to 2006, I went over there and I know the ambience over there, the campus, the activities. Question number one, how have the activities of your school helped you in grooming your career, and how are those activities helping you today? Question number two, today's generation after class 10, they go to the coaching centers and not to the schools. I as a teacher always feel that this 2 years of gap will actually be a big gap in later on in their life. What is your opinion on this?
So I'll answer the second question first. This is actually true. People leave the schools. Leave means they just do part-time schools and they focus on coaching institute. So any coaching that will prepare you for a particular set of questions, particular way of thinking. Suppose I'll take example for IT coaching because I am from that. So IT coaching will give you an insight about how the IT question comes, what is the pattern of answering, what is the pattern of thinking required for clearing that exam, right? So I am sure similar would be the case for commerce coaching, any other coaching, right? But this I have faced. I'm telling that's why, because I was there in Pilani, but I was also focusing on my IIT coaching because karna tha. But then I realized when I came for the civil services, वो IIT वाला was never used, मतलब वो यूज़ ही नहीं आया IIT वाला. It was all only the school वाला जो पढ़ा था जिसमें question answer, because IIT is all objective. आजकल almost all the competitive exams they become objective because of number of students applying and the quick results that we want to give, right? So that subjective part which is very essential in civil services, वो schools में ही आया. वो I think 10th 11th 12th में जो हम लोग लिखते हैं answers and the way we study our textbooks very religiously. So what we do in schools, I'm sure आप भी कर रहे होंगे कि उस textbook को पढ़ते with underlining, with highlighting and you revise. So somehow वो revision वाला जो चीज़ था, I can today say very proudly कि वो schools में develop हुआ, because I told you earlier also, it sometimes takes 6-7 years also to qualify. So something you have read in 2019 you won't be able to recall in 2024, right? So you should keep on revising, you keep on underlining, you keep on making notes. So these are some things which your school curriculum, when you prepare for school exams of unit tests and all, this will only teach. So you are right, actually the focus on coaching centers should be there, but it should not compromise the school education. I think seeing this only, IIT has now given a cutoff for school marks also. Well, it was only the marks of the test, IIT entrance test, but now they are focused on the school marks also. So I think there's a now it's a realization across the board that schools should not be missed at any cost, be it for IIT, for commerce, for anything. So that answers the second question. The first is, yeah, you're right. The school offers a lot of activities. I was involved in horse riding. So I learned horse riding there, swimming also. I went on to play the nationals in swimming also from there. So apart from education, I would say one or two activities which shaped my personality was participation in sports. So I was really a shy kind of guy, not interacting much. कभी लोगों से बात करना, मतलब अपने काम से काम. But when you participate in sports, you go to sports camps, you meet a lot of people, and then you get exposed to so many cultures. Like in swimming camp, I went to Chhattisgarh in school days, 10th May, and I also went to Ajmer, Jaipur for practice of swimming for 1 week, and for competitions I went to Jaipur, Chandigarh. So उस समय लगा कि टाइम वेस्ट है, 10th का एग्ज़ाम है, छोड़ देते हैं. But बाद में it actually it has I now feel that once you go out, you interact with so many new faces, different cultures, it shapes your personality somewhere. Coming to my present thing, this is my 5th posting. I have served in 5 states, and I am amazed the amount of diversity in this country. हर जगह के लोग आर कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट. आई वॉज देर इन बंगाल, सिलीगुड़ी, दार्जिलिंग. Completely different set of people. You have to change your mindset to extract or sort of make them a team. The same thing what I applied in Bengal will not be applicable in UP. What is in UP will not be applicable to MP. I was in Pachmadi also. So that personality thing, what we were talking in the school days, the interaction with other people, getting to know other culture, others' way of thinking. There's a term for that called empathy, putting yourself in others' shoes and thinking what he would be thinking, and you understand that person in that way. So that thing I'm in my personality came from that participation in sports, basically swimming, and to a great extent horse riding also. So yeah, Saurabh.
Sir, what has been your 5 favorite foods from all the 5 postings that you have been, and especially Varanasi, sir?
So first of all is kachori, sabji and jalebi, because recently I tried Malayo, because abhi recent hai to I can relate. Malayo is very good. Delhi, of course, Delhi chole bhature is the Delhi food. पचमढ़ी में देयर अ थिंग कॉल्ड, यहाँ भी वैसे है, वहाँ पे अलग होता है, बाटी, दाल बाटी होता है. MP का इज डिफरेंट. So that was the 4, and yeah, Indori poha is different. Yeah, yeah. So 5. Thank you. Thank you.